everyone, my name is Jim from WildGravityTravels.com, of course, and we're checking out Pandora for the first time ever today. We're going to be checking out the Navi River Journey, the Flight of Passage ride, which has been highly revered by many sites already. Here we get our first look of the floating rocks, and we can see the waterfall off in the distance there. We're going to go on down and around and explore the entire area in hopefully what will be a fairly quick video to see. We're going to try not to dwell too much on anything. We will be getting a queue tour of the Flight of Passage. We do have fast passes for that, so stay tuned for my review on that, my personal review, with my personal opinion. But all the reviews have been good. I will again put up front that for those of you who don't know me, I have not seen the movie Avatar, so this is all very foreign concept and themed land to me. So this will be very interesting to check out and see how cool it is. And we're already seeing some really cool floating rocks here, and of course the signature piece. But on the side there we see some really neat waterfalls. This looks like an interactive drum set actually. We're gonna go over here and check that out. So this is really neat. There's little drums actually built into the rockwork, and it looks like when you hit, that's really cool. It looks like this could almost be a stage eventually once the area actually opens, where a Navi person could stand up there and hit the big drum, because that big drum is roped off to staff only. So that's interesting. Over here we have the entrance to the river journey, and we can see wait time sign there. We're gonna go check that out next. So here's a cool formation made out of wicker, something like that. Looks like a Pandora person sculpture. Maybe their hero from the movie. So really cool to see that here. And over here we're getting a little closer to those waterfall details from that we saw from the entrance or from the entering the area. So really neat to see all this stuff here. And now we are going to head in and check out the river journey. Alright folks, so we just came out of there. We just got off the river journey. Over here is where we entered. Just an incredible ride. It is a slow-moving boat ride. It's nothing spectacular. Some people that don't really care for the attraction have called it it's a small world with Avatar. However, I think it's much more advanced than that. It's much more than that, than It's a Small World. It doesn't have a continuous song. It's kind of a tribal celebration almost as you ride through the boat ride. And you see an incredible animatronic at the end, incredible screen work on a few areas, even from just like lily pads. If you're watching this video fairly recently after it's posted, and check out our Twitter feed, I posted a couple snippets I got with my phone on it. So here we're under a floating rock area. And we're going to walk down this pathway and head towards the Flight of Passage queue for our tour there, as we see several different views around of Pandora. So here we have some like mossy covered rocks, different little pods and coverings in the area. And this is just incredible. I mean, even the pathways are kind of got that green mossy color to them. So here we're going to get ready to head into the Flight of Passage queue, which goes right up over here, it looks like. And you can just see all the details here on the sides of the rocks. Just check those out. That's just really neat. And there's a bridge up there. We'll probably be getting on that we'll probably be up there soon, looking down where we're standing now. Of the Pandora queue area, and this is for Flight of Passage, believe it or not. This is not just a continuation, this is just a continuation of the theming that we've seen throughout the area. And as I mentioned several times, and probably will continue to, the video is not going to do this justice, folks. You're going to have to come and check this out for yourself here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So we just came in the entrance right here, and then as you turn and hit this turn right here, just inside, you see this waterfall and a bridge we're going to be standing on here in just a moment. And we'll head on inside, see some bioluminescence that's inside, and check out the rest of the Flight of Passage queue. Stay tuned. So this is really impressive. Here we see a waterfall right on the side of the rocks, and we're actually going to be going in there. And this is just inside the queue. You can see one of the many waterfalls and water effects, and that actually goes down into, this is like one of the main areas of Pandora where you can guests can just walk around and enjoy all of the detail work. You can't even really tell you're at Animal Kingdom from this angle, and we're pretty high up in the queue compared to the rest of the area, and you can't even see the rest of Animal Kingdom. We're well hidden back in here in this corner of the park. Once you're in Pandora, you're in Pandora. You're immersed. I would compare it to something like Diagon Alley. So we're going to continue on up and check out all of the queue here for Flight of Passage. Stay tuned. So as we head through the outdoor section of the queue and head on in this direction, just going to take a look back at where I walked past without taking video. You can see a lot more like tribal stuff here, just kind of like assemblies of sculptures and that, like almost wick and wood sculptures put into place. Here we see like a little claw, possibly of like a banshee going on. So this is pretty much the outdoor section of the Pandora queue. I will walk backwards a little more so we can see that. I didn't really take video until we got well in the queue. So we can see some of those sculptures here. And again, this is the only outdoor part of the standby queue, and then that goes inside on up the hill here. So thankfully not too much outside here in the Florida heat. That's a good idea by Disney Imagineering to go with that concept. So we're going to head on up into the queue and continue our look at the Flight of Passage queue line for Pandora. We will not have an on-ride video. They're not allowing that, and it's a very good ride, very good theater type attraction that video's not going to do any of this justice, folks. Honestly, you have to come out and see it for yourself. Pandora is a great new area, and this coming from somebody who's actually never seen the movie Avatar. So some people say that's a more qualifying thing of the detail level that they've done here. It leaves me wanting to see the movie. I mean, even look at just the handrails have little carvings and notches in them. And here, also, while we're recording, wanted to mention, here's the back side of the floating rockwork of Pandora, right here. So that's all pretty cool to check out. So here we can see the back side of the waterfall on the side of the building, or the side of the rockwork here at Pandora. And then as we turn and head in the queue, we could see, continue on in the queue, we could see the some start of the tribal drawings, and it looks like there's going to be some more up ahead. So we'll take a better look up there from those angles coming up in just a second. But as you can see, now we've entered inside the building. This is for the main queue. It's a very long queue. I've already actually walked through all of it. So you get a good idea of everything, how long they expect the line to be for this, and it will be worth it. We have already ridden the attraction. So, and it's one of the better motion theaters I've ever been on, or motion simulators, some would equate it to, all around here. So now that we're fully in the caverns inside, we can see some drawings of the banshees and just like many tribal drawings almost of the Na'vi people. There on the ceiling you can see more banshee drawings all around to check out in this area. And of course you can probably hear that waterfall echoing in the distance on the video. Just an impressive waterfall for the entire area. We've seen it from several perspectives throughout the day, and it's pretty great to see all of that around Pandora. So here we see a sign that says you are entering a Pandora Conservation Initiative field site, which is probably going to be more of this bioluminescence that we just saw. This is where we just came from. Probably didn't do it justice from, again, the video's not going to do it justice the way this glows at in the darkness, kind of like a black light effect. And here, of course, I'm going to walk back a little bit more so we can get a look at this, a better look at this again. So this is coming into the research site, as we just saw on the sign. So pretty neat to see that, all that growing field. Just watch out for those loose rock and debris. So here on this sign now we see some required inspection processes from like the research facility that's here at this facility nearby. It's all part of the story here. And we can see a lot more of that bioluminescence just glowing all around. Looks like we're going to be coming into some more of that here in just a moment. So here we see what looks to be our final piece of bioluminescence, tree and plant life, if you will, in the queue for Flight of Passage. And this has just been all spectacular so far. Looks like now we'll be heading into like a lab style room, so we're going to check that out coming up next. So here in this room we see a very lifelike Navi person contained in a holding bubble here. And then a lot of research equipment all around, like a lab. Basically this is the lab area of the queue for Flight of Passage, much different from what we've just actually walked through with the bioluminescence. So lots of cool stuff to see in here, and we're going to head on into the next room now. So here we've come to the final area before you go to board in the standby line for Avatar Flight of Passage. And you kind of see like a flight status board of how avatars, people paired with avatars are doing in the ride. Great theming effect, of course. So that'll conclude our look at the queue for Flight of Passage in Pandora. So over here in this corner, and when you get off Flight of Passage, you actually exit into the Wind Traders gift shop. And this is a place where you can get these banshees, these cool banshees sitting on people's shoulders. They're kind of like little shoulder puppets. You can make your own avatar inside. Lots of different great merchandise to check out. We'll pop in for a brief moment and see what we can see. So this is where we see you can choose a banshee, or the banshee will choose you. And we're inside Wind Traders gift shop. And there's several different things here. You can make your own avatar, and then your standard Disney souvenirs. You have shirts, cups, bags, hats, but definitely some unique items to be found in here. Not just your standard shirts and t-shirts. There's much, much more than that, just like the area here in the park. So here we can see some other little Leon turnips with wing flapping action. I'm gonna butcher the names if I try to pronounce any of them. So here we see some cool glow-in-the-dark shirts. Some of the kids' merchandise. Looks like we even have a kite right here. Kites for sale. So the Wind Trader gift shop is actually part of the exit. You know, Disney tradition, you have to exit into the gift shop. That's Flight of Passage. As I mentioned before, we did just get off the ride. It's amazing. It's nothing like Disney's ever done before. It's kind of like, I would say, if it's anywhere near anything, it would be like Soarin', but the theater is much more motion-based, much more exciting of an experience to take on. So definitely worth it, and worth a wait at least once if you haven't done it. So we're gonna head on out of Wind Traders again. So this is Super Canteen. They have several menu offerings. We're gonna show just the menu outside here briefly. We'll have pictures of the full menu, and we'll probably get our restaurant review online after opening day has passed. We won't be eating there today, but this is just a good continuation of all the details for the canteen. So as we turn back and head back through Pandora, we're gonna check out all the views around possible. We're gonna kind of complete the circle. We started our video towards the back at the Flight of Passage entrance. We already did do the river event, river journey. So this is all pretty impressive, folks. Again, highly recommend both the rides. The river journey is very calm, very relaxing ride, but it has a very high-tech advanced animatronic to check out. So here we get another angle at the floating rocks. We're going to check out a couple other features, and we will wrap up our visit to Visit Pandora, # Visit Pandora, in just a moment. Stay tuned. So here we can see some other unique sculptures, formations as part of Pandora. This is something that caught my eye, is the waterfalls, just the many waterfalls here. And, you know, you have the big waterfalls from the other area, but here you have all these little waterfalls cascading down into this river here. Almost looks like it connects to that front pathway. For those of you who remember, this whole area used to be Camp Mini Mickey, and the whole area was pretty much just a little campsite with the Lion King show, which is now over in the Africa area of Animal Kingdom. So this could be a throwback to that. This could be actually what's left of that river. Would be smart to integrate the water system to it, but just a beautiful waterfall here for those of you who do enjoy waterfalls. I know we have some followers out there that do. So here's the signature angle of Pandora. With the floating rocks, the water, you can see the waterfalls off in the distance off this one side of the floating rocks. Just incredible flower details all around to be seen. And just awesome stuff to be seen all over the place. And here now we can see we've come full circle. We're back to the area where we entered for the preview, where you may have seen that quiet video for the crowd. Walking through the crowd there. Thanks for everyone for staying with us through our preview of Pandora. My name is Jim from WildGravityTravels.com. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we will see you at the park. Enjoy Pandora when you do visit. It's incredibly detailed.